Hi, it's Michelle Last here. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to introduce you to one of the new products from the new Spring and Summer seasonal catalogue. I think it's going to be the top selling product. I've fallen in love with it. So I want to show you the scalloped tag topper punch. We also have an angled tag topper punch, which looks like this. So you can create tags with different topper or ends to them depending on your preference. So I just want to show you how versatile this tool is and give you some of the functionality of it and how to get the best use from it. So just to show you, on the punch itself you have a little recess section here. I don't know if you can see, but there's also little marker points just here at the bottom. I want you to remember those. I'm going to refer back to those in a moment. Now this width here is actually 2 inches. That equates in metric to 2.1 centimetres. So what I want you to do is choose your preferred measurement. I'm going to talk mainly in metric because we're in the UK, but you can convert it to inches, whatever you wish. So this is a 2-inch 5.1 centimetre strip of cardstock, and that will fit in this recess of the tag topper perfectly. Now the first thing you need to do is open your punch like you would any of our punches. You slide it in the recess, push it all the way in until it won't go any further, punch down, and then you've got a perfect tag. Now the idea of these punches is that there is no base on them, so the tag itself can be as long as you would wish it to be. Now that's quite long. I want to show you, I've pre-cut some samples already, and I want to show you some just standard tag length. So this is one I've done in the angled tag topper. I'm going to use the other end of this strip and show you. So I'm going to slide it in until it will go no further, press it down, and we've now got the angled punch, the tag. So a perfect sized tag, I think, like a luggage label, is the 2-inch wide or 5.1 centimetres, and this one actually is 5 centimetres. So I've told you that. How long is it? It is 10 centimetres, so it's 10 centimetres by 5.1 centimetres, and for me that's the perfect luggage tag. That would look lovely on scrapbooks or anything like that. Now if you're going to do the scalloped tag topper, which I have to tell you is my favourite, I want to show you how different they look and how you can actually do smaller tags. So that is the one that I've just shown you here, and I've just cut this one off. I think it's at 8 centimetres. I think all these tags are 8 centimetres. Let me just check that. Yeah, they're all 8 centimetres. So that's the standard tag width. We're now going to focus, and if we do it at 4.5 centimetres, if I just cut a piece of cardstock down to 4.5 centimetres, I'm just going to show you how we can layer it into the punch. So do you remember I talked about those little guide marks at the base here on the indent, the recess? If you slide your bit of paper in as far as you can go, you can, by eye, make sure you have an even gap either side. You could line it up to these little marks either side, but what I tend to do is I tend to turn the punch over, and then that way I can see that the paper is flush to the top. I haven't got any jaunty angles, in which case I'll get a strangely cut tag, and I'm going to try and line it up as best I can with the edge of where the punch outs are. So even gap either side, hold it in. I'm holding it here with my hand. I'm going to punch that out. If you get any punch outs stuck like that, for example, you need to get rid of those before you can pull your tag out. Then when you pull your tag out, what that should do is that will create a nice tag that will have a nice border around the previous one that you've cut. So it's a great way of getting a little border going on. That was 4.5 centimetres. Okay, then you can also do a 4 centimetre one. Again, the same procedure that I've just shown you, and then you can get an even smaller recess. And then I went down to 3.3 centimetres, and the reason for that is that was a nice even end to the end of the scallop, rather than having just these little edge pieces, which I think look fine, but it's up to you. So depending on how wide you cut your card will depend on what size tag, but I wanted to show you a graphic of how easy measurements that you can cut. So now I'm going to go on and just show you some other things you can do. I've cut a what I've done is, if I cut this bit of card for you, so I'm going to cut, I've already punched this card. I'm now going to cut it to 9 centimetres long. So I'm just going to line it up with the 9 centimetres at the edge. I'm going to feed it back into my tag topper, punch, and I'm going to have an even gap either side, roughly. Okay, so I've got a die cut on both sides, sorry, a punch on both sides. You can thread ribbon through these, you can attach them to the front of things, it can be a label. But what I wanted to show you, and I've done it here in the patterned paper, the Chalk Talk framelit dies. One of the dies in the set looks like this, and if you die cut it, the die cut itself looks like this. This nests perfectly onto that size without showing any holes, which means you can use that for mounting and double mounting. So there's another, if you own the Chalk Talk dies, that's a great little tip and something else that you can use it for. Okay, another thing you can do is, I'm going to show you some things that you can create. For example, this is like a little matchbook really, with the little tag topper at the top. Now you may see that this is wider than the 2-inch piece that slides into the punch. I'm going to show you how we created that. So this piece of card, just for the one that I've used, is actually 7 centimetres wide. Okay, so you've got a bit of cardstock 7 centimetres wide. It doesn't matter how long it is because that will depend on you and your project. But mine is 7 centimetres wide. Now you may think, how on earth is that going to fit in the recess? Well, it's not. So what you do is you bypass the recess, and you actually, what I need to do is just mark the centre point on here. So I'm going to show you how I mark the centre point. So I'm going to get my trimmer, and I know that half of 7 centimetres is 3.5 centimetres. So I'm going to line up my card at 3.5 centimetres. Then I'm going to get my pencil, and I'm going to use the track of my trimmer and to draw a line like that. Okay, now this is going to be on the back of my tag, so you won't see it. So what happens is, when you put your pencil line in, put it face down, okay, and you're going to bypass the recess and tuck it in your punch by bypassing the recess like that. Then when you push it into your punch, you want it to be flush across the top here as far as it will go in. And then what you want to do is, I've drawn a line. Now I made sure that I drew my line quite deep in the vertical position. So I just want to move my cardstock until I find the line that I drew. There. Can you see the line that I drew? I'll just hold that a bit closer. Can you see the line that I've drawn here? And it's in the centre of that little hole. I now know that's the centre point of my cardstock. So if I've made sure I'm pushed right in and I punch, all I have to do is trim off these little extra pieces either side. You can do that with a trimmer or scissors, and then I can score that. Then when I fold my card in like this, I've got that piece here. Well, that's a bit crudely done, but it gives you the idea. Now, it's much easier to do that with the scalloped tag topper punch. So that's how you create this. And also, that's just to show you that I've just done my creases in a slightly different place. Okay. Now with the tag topper, it's even easier. So let's work on the principle that I've got a bit of cardstock. This piece of cardstock is 14 centimetres wide, so I need to mark the centre point again. I can use my trimmer like I showed you, but I'm going to use my grid paper. So I'm just going to line it up with the bottom of my grid paper. I know that it's 14, and so that means I just need to do a pencil mark at 7. I need to do a pencil mark at 7. So I don't have to go as deep with the scallop tag topper one. So this, again, I'm going to turn my pencil line facing down. I'm going to bypass the recess, and I'm going to go into my trimmer. I'm just going to push it in. Now you could, if you've got a good eye, just by eye, either measure or see if that's central. Best way I've found is to fold it past the recess into the punch and move it until that pencil mark is in the centre of that top scallop. Okay, so for me, that's good enough. Make sure my paper's pushed all the way in. Again, get rid of your pieces, otherwise it might not slide out very easily. And now what you're going to do is you're going to, I'm using scissors for quickness, but I would encourage you to use a trimmer because then you'll make sure that they're absolutely straight. You then get that nice little scallop in the middle of your card, which can look like this, but then when you fold it, can create really nice decorative features. So there's one with a slightly deeper decorative feature like that, okay? And just to show you, that's one embellished and made up, and that's the little fixing that isn't separate, it's all part of the whole envelope. So you could make it separate, but we haven't on this one, so that's how you would do that. And then just to show you some other ideas of what you can do, this is just the angled tag topper punch, and we've just done a long piece of cardstock and I've scored it and created like a little W. Then when you fold it and you punch it either side, you can create like a really nice little treat that would hold something pretty small, like an after eight or something like that, or just a very small little greeting, just a gift tag. Just so many possibilities with this. So what I'm going to do is, for anybody spending £45 with me during celebration, I'm going to be sending them a PDF with tutorials on how to make several projects with the tag topper punches. If you want to buy the tutorial and you haven't placed an order for £45 or more, then you can purchase the tutorial and it will be available on my blog. So just as an example, there will be lots of projects with full instructions and measurements showing you how to make different projects so that you can craft to your heart's content. So I hope that you can join me and download the PDF or have access to the PDF. So if you have any questions or I can help you with anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch. And if you'd like to visit my online shop and place your orders for celebration, that's very simple. Go to michellelast.co.uk and go to my shop now button. Thank you.